Anything else on this?
Yeah.
Sure, Said.
If I may, just to follow where you started at the top. Now, this has been probably one of the bloodiest weeks and months in the last 20 years, at least since 2002. And it seems that every time, there is some sort of political crisis in Israeli governance, that is like a pattern or a roadmap that they follow. And so we see it time and time again. They're exporting whatever political crisis they might have and take it out on the Palestinian. And I'm afraid, that sure, I mean, you expressed these things, and it was a very clear statement that you made. But it seems, unfortunately, that the Israelis they don't care. They just go on. They dismiss any other effort that might take place at the UN, or even the statement that was issued that was really watered down. But in fact, this thing that is going on continue to go on. I mean, can you put some muscle behind your statement that you are concerned? But what will you do if the Israelis continue with this, iron fist against an unarmed population?
So, Saeed, to the first part of your question, we wouldn't, nor could we, speak to specific motivations. We are speaking to the facts as they are communicated to us and as they are communicated to the rest of the world. We are speaking to the implications of the facts on the ground. And unilateral acts, including expansion of settlements, legalization of outposts, those are obstacles to peace. Those are the obstacles to a negotiated two-state solution that over the course of decades now, successive American administrations have endorsed. Israelis and Palestinians themselves have endorsed. We are having conversations with all of the parties. We are having conversations privately with our Israeli partners. We're having private conversations with our Palestinian partners. We're having conversations with our regional partners as well. This is obviously a conversation that is taking place among and between a wider swath of countries. And you saw the UN Security Council issue a statement over the weekend that was entirely consistent with what you have heard from the United States. Our overarching priority is to preserve the viability of a negotiated two-state solution to the conflict. Only with a negotiated two-state solution will the Palestinians be able to achieve their legitimate aspirations for sovereignty, independence, and freedom in a state of their own, living side by side next to a vibrant democracy and a Jewish state. That is critical. The viability of a two-state solution is critical to both parties. It is critical to our approach to this conflict, our broader approach to this region.
In the meantime, just one follow-up. In the meantime, we see this, this Israeli policy of going in and killing innocent Palestinians, go unabated. They feel that they have total impunity in conducting these operations. Today's operation was in broad daylight. It was like 9 or 10 in the morning. So they know full well that there was going to be no opposition for them whatsoever. So they target people who are unarmed. So what should happen? What should happen to at least stem or stop this Israeli violence?
Cite 2 points. First is the point that Israel faces very real threats to its security. We have seen horrific reminders of that, even in recent days. Israel has every right to defend itself against acts of terrorism and violence. In doing so, and this is the second point, we have encouraged Israel repeatedly, as we do countries around the world, to do so in a way that minimizes any potential civilian casualties, any potential civilian harm. The death of a single innocent civilian is a tragedy. This is not a sentiment that is unique to the United States. This is a sentiment that we have heard from countries around the world, including from our Israeli partners. It is imperative that steps be taken to minimize civilian harm, to minimize civilian casualties. The IDF and Israel more broadly has spoken to some of those steps. But again, we urge Israel to exercise caution and to do what it can while it responds to very real threats to its security to minimize the possibility of civilian harm.